Part 11. Combined operations of integers. You will find this on page 38 in the Namibian Mathematics Grade 8 textbook, y equals mx plus c to success. Combined operations of integers. The word operations means the processes in maths like adding, dividing, squaring, etc. Anything that is not a number is probably an operation. When simplifying an expression that has more than one operation symbol, there is a special order you must follow to get the correct answer. The order of operations is as follows. Brackets. Do all the operations that are inside brackets. If there is more than one pair of brackets, evaluate the expression in the innermost pair first. Like for example this. There's a bracket and there is a bracket inside. So you must first do the part in the innermost bracket first. Powers and roots. Do any work with powers, exponents and roots. Square roots, cube roots, all of them. Then do multiplication and division. Working from left to right, do all the multiplications and divisions. So if multiplication and then division, you follow in that order. But if it's first division and then multiplication, then you do first division and then multiplication. The same is for addition and subtraction. If it's addition and subtraction, then you do addition, subtraction. But if it's first subtraction, then addition, then you first do subtraction. Now, I'm going to look at two examples. Without using a calculator, find the values of the following. Okay, there is my expression. Now, can you see that bracket? So I'm first going to just focus on that bracket, but rewrite everything until you come to that bracket. Now, inside the bracket, you see a square. So first do the square. So 3 times 3, that will be 9. Now, I again rewrite everything, and now I can do the bracket. Now, remember, if there's no sign in front of the 5, it's a positive. Now, positive 5 minus 9, if the signs are different, what do? You subtract 9 minus 5, that will be 4. And you keep the sign in front of the biggest movement. So did I move more negative or more positive? I moved more negative, and that's why the sign will be negative. Okay, now look at this next step. It's a negative, a positive, and there is the multiplication. So I must first do multiplication. So if I do this, it's going to be 7 minus 8 plus. Now what is 4 multiply negative 4? Remember, if it's multiplication, I can count the negative signs. There's just one, that's an odd number, so the result will be negative. 4 times 4 will be 16. Now, this is just minus plus. This is addition, so I can now either first go and add the negative signs, but in this case what I did, I first simplify the first two. So 7 minus 8, remember, if there's no sign in front, it will be a positive. So if it's different signs, then subtract. So 8 minus 7 will be 1. And did I move more negative or more positive? More negative. That's why the answer will be negative. And now, look, the signs are the same. And if the signs are the same, I keep the sign and I add the numbers. And there's my final. I'll show you later how we can control this on a calculator. Let's look at the next one. Again, focus on it. You see there's an exponent, an index, which we must first do. Then you see that bracket, and you must first do that inside bracket. Okay, so we can do this one. It's negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. So there will be 3 negative signs. So it's an odd, so the result will be negative. And 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 will be 27. I rewrite. I can take the square root of 36. What will be the square root of 36? That will be 6. Okay. So I first just complete that. Now I must do that bracket. Let me show you. You're now going to do that bracket. So just rewrite everything until you come to that bracket. Then 6 plus 4 will be 10. Okay, now let's look. I still not finished with this bracket. There's I just rewrite everything, and there's positive 2 minus 10. The signs are different. What do I do if the signs are different? I subtract. So 8 minus 2 will be, 10 minus 2 will be 8. And did I move more negative or more positive? I moved more negative, so it will be negative 8. And now, look again. Let me show you. Now, I must first do that division. So just rewrite. What is 24 divided by negative 8? It's 1. I can count the negative signs. It's 1, so it's odd, so it stays negative. And 24 divided by 8 will be 3. But now, check here. I want you to see this. Do you see there? It's a subtraction. So I must change it into addition. And how do I change it into addition? By finding the additive inverse. Now, what is the additive inverse of negative 3? That will be positive 3. What I sometimes tell the students, this is a negative, and that bracket means multiply. So a negative multiply a negative. So how many negative stripes or signs are there? There will be 2, and that's an even number. So a negative times a negative will be a positive. But now the signs, look at the signs, they are different. And if the signs are different, I subtract. So 27 minus 3 will be 24. And did I move more negative or more positive? More negative. That's why the answer will be negative. I want you to do try now 12. And I think we're going to focus on number B. It's a bit more complicated. Stop the video. And as soon as you are finished, you can continue with the video. Okay, I'm just going to first write it down. It's always good if you write it first on your paper or in your book. It also gives you already an idea of what you are going to do. And it's going to be curly, and it's going to be 2, and it's going to be negative 5, and it's going to close the bracket. Okay, can you all see that I have a bracket? I can simplify, and then my biggest focus is going to first be on that part. Okay, now let's start. What is negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4? Now there will be 3 negative signs. That's an odd number, so it will be a negative, and that will be 64. Just rewrite that first. We are going to first focus on this inside bracket. We can already take that, just negative 2. It's an addition, so I'm just going to first rewrite it like this. I know it's a little bit long, but it sometimes helps if I don't leave out steps. Okay, now I'm first not going to work here. I'm going to do it a little bit later. Now, in this case, there is actually just standing negative 2 and negative 3. The signs are the same. So I keep the sign and I add the numbers. And that's still square. Okay, I'm just going to rewrite this first. I will now multiply it out. Okay, what is negative 5 times negative 5? That will just be 25. And I divide by this negative 5. I think because we keep that in bracket, we do that. Okay, and then I know I could have already multiplied this, but I first want to finish this one. So what is 25 divided by negative 5? There's one negative sign. So the answer will be negative. Remember, only at multiplication and division I can count the negative stripes and then determine the sign. And that will be 5. And now I can do this multiplication. And if I do that multiplication, it's negative 320. Again, how many negative stripes do you see here in this part? I just see 1. It's an odd number, and that's why the answer will be negative. This is subtraction. I change it into addition by finding the additive inverse. And what will be the additive inverse? It will be the opposite sign of negative, and that will be positive. And now look, the signs are different. What do I do if the signs are different? I subtract, so I get 315. But is my biggest movement negative or positive? Definitely negative. So my answer will be negative 315. We could just put every time equal. I just left it out. And I'm just going to finish off with that. I'll show you later how we can control it on the calculator.